welcome back. My name is Dr. Amy with Rooted Family Chiropractic, and today we're going to talk about pelvic floor. So many of us may not know our pelvic floor is super important until after we have a kid. So this is a lot for my postpartum mamas, pregnant mamas, or if you just have a lot of pelvic floor issues and no kids. So I'm going to go through the basics and my little routine just to get you back into it. Nothing crazy, no super like deep core activating work, but how do we activate our pelvic floor? How do we strengthen it intentionally? And this over time daily can really add into that strength and support that you can feel. Because let's say our pelvic floor isn't strengthening strong, we're going to notice a lot of just instability. We're going to notice back pain. We're just going to notice these weird little things happening, as well as not having a good girdle that we used to in front. So the biggest thing with pelvic floor is being able to engage it. So the first thing I start with anybody is more breathing. We want to make sure that we can breathe deep into the belly, open up everything. And then on the exhale, what we can do is we can contract and zip up. So the best way and the most way I encourage is laying down so everything else can be relaxed. So I'll have you flip to your back, plant our feet, and get in a comfortable position. So what we want to do here is we take a deep breath in and not just chest. I want belly breathe. I want expansion everywhere on sides and into the lower pelvic floor. So take a big breath in, open, expand as much as I can. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to contract my pelvic floor. For those that are like, I don't know what that means. If you're going to pee and you're like, oh, I got to stop peeing, and you cut off that flow, that's exactly how to contract that pelvic floor muscle. So that's what I'd stimulate. I'd like contract. And then I want to support by squeezing up or zipping. Some people like to the reference of zipping up from lower all the way up. So we take a big breath in, expanding everywhere. Contract pelvic floor, stop that pee, and then zip, 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 zip all the way up as we exhale. From this position, you can either breathe in, expand, and release the pelvic floor completely, relax. Or what we can do is we can keep it contracted and take more shallow breaths. So deep breath in, contract pelvic floor, zip up, contraction. And then I can hold this while I take more breaths in and out. In and out while I hold that contraction, then a big breath in to release it. So breath is a really easy way to move with that pelvic floor and feel that contraction. So once you feel like you've gotten that down, that would be the first place I start. You could do a set of 10 a couple times a day, especially if you're newly postpartum. Lay, hang out with baby, practice your breathing. Next, what we could do is you start small. So you breathe in, contract, and zip up all the way up. I have my nice pelvic floor contraction. I could do light things. I can literally lift my leg. A lot of people like to do this with breath. So I breathe in and exhale, all while contracting. Breathe in and breathe in. You can do very light things. You can move leg out, out, up. You can move up and out. So different movements will basically increase the intensity of that pelvic floor. So when I'm just breathing, low intensity. When I'm contracting and trying to move, I get another level of intensity to allow me to build strength there. Once you feel like, yep, feel good with that, add some small movements, I would recommend glute bridge. So what we do is we take a big breath in, we contract pelvic floor, zip up, and then I would do a glute bridge where we bring our pelvis up and then we bring it down. And this whole time I'm contracting. You can do it with breath. Breathe in and out, all while contracting. And then once you're done with your set, 8 to 10 times, a couple times a day, you relax your pelvic floor. This adds another layer of movement and intensity to it. Those are your basics. Next, what we can do is we can actually add in a little bit more intentional movement, a little more like core work with an engaged pelvic floor. So dead bug is a really easy one to go into that adds a pretty intense layer of intensity. So I would engage just the same, breathe in, contract my pelvic floor, zip up. I have a good strong contraction. I bring my knees up, arms up. Even holding this might be tough, and this is where you can stay if you need to. Otherwise, what we can do is we lower one arm and we lower the opposite leg. Touch while I'm contracted, bring up. Touch, bring up. If this is intense while you're starting, all you could do is you do arm, arm, leg, leg. So we're building that pelvic floor core stability and really starting to compound. So this would be a great one. I would do 8 to 10 each side, a couple times a day. So let me show you in real time. I'd take a big breath in, contract my pelvic floor, zip, zip, zip up, hold position, and then I would go. Opposite, that would be 1, 2, and I would build up. Another one that would be very similar is bird dog. And this one you go to all fours for. We go to all fours and we want to make shoulders over hands, hips over knees. And it's the same thing where you're going opposite end. But this time we're breathing in this position, expanding. And then we're contracting pelvic floor and zipping up, creating that nice, strong core foundation. And then one arm can go up and the opposite leg. I don't have a lot of room, so I'm going to bend my knee, but you can straighten your leg as well. And then you come down. And then we would do opposite side. And then we would come back down. This is hard. You can always do arm, arm, leg, leg. You would do 8 to 10 a couple times a day. This is the basic foundation of how do I at home build up my pelvic floor, heal, and be able to get some strength in there. All right. You guys have a great one. Please message, comment if we have any thought questions or what our next video should be. Bye.